All right, we're live. This is another daily doji. Welcome back. Takes my screen a couple seconds to refresh. All right, here we go. Today we're doing technical analysis, crypto technical analysis of Dogecoin, HEX, and anything else that you want to see. Let me know in the comments. Let me know the symbol that you want me to take a look at, and I'll do it because we're live. And if you're watching this in the replay, let me know in the comments, and I'll do that as well. I just won't do it as quickly, of course, as live. Can't get much quicker than live. All right, awesome. Thank you for everyone tuning in. And remember to leave a like. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lucas. Oh yeah, baby, I get to watch from my PC today, said Lucas. Awesome. Welcome and thank you for commenting. Helps get the ball rolling. So we're doing Dogecoin price analysis today, and my friend was telling me about HEX. I don't know if any of you have heard about this, but they tipped me off to it, and I took a look at it, and what I saw, I think that was yesterday or the day before. What I saw, well, actually, let's jump into that first. I'll show you what I saw right here. Okay, this is HEX. I don't know, I'm not promoting it or anything like that. I don't know anything about it. All I care about is the chart. I'm just going to be honest about that. So, can any of you newbies take a look at this and tell me what you see? Because this is a pretty good pattern to me. What do you think? It looks like a certain way. Right off the bat, it jumps out. So he told me about this a couple days ago, and it was about right here. And I was like, ooh, looking like it's getting there. I know that there's a little bit of a lag. I'll give you a second to leave a comment. Lucas said 5 waves up. Let's see. Let's get our trusty Elliott Impulse Wave tool out. This looks like a wave to me. This looks like another one. And this looks like another one. I think we have a 5 waves up. Now, is this tall enough? Yep, it computes. As long as the third wave, the first wave looked pretty long, but as long as the third wave is as long, at least as long as the first wave, and this wave 4 and wave 1 has a little overlap, just the tip, just a wick. I believe that that is okay. To me, it looks, other than this wick, it's perfectly 5 waves. But a wick is okay, especially with crypto, because it's so leveraged that people are borrowing margin or who knows what they're doing. So to me, this appears like a 5 waves up, and well, that was when I was right here. And what I said to him is, let me see, let me read you my text from yesterday. Or wait, it wasn't yesterday, it was a couple days ago. So I said, it looks I said it looks like there is more upside, maybe up to 16 cents first, but it's teetering. I said, okay, before that I said it might have one more subwave up, but soon we'll come back to maybe 4 cents. Wah, wah. But I didn't measure it at all. Then it might rocket after that. So I said, it looks like there is more upside, maybe up to 16 cents first. That was when we were right here. Look what happened. More upside. It rocketed very quickly to almost 22. Now, I asked him how to go about trading this, and it seems like some big ordeal. So I did not get involved in that spike. I wasn't about to get in on for just the 5th wave up. That's pretty dangerous. I mean, it's already looking like it happened. So I said, looks like there's more upside, maybe up to 16 first. Well, it definitely did. More upside, shot up, and now it's around 16 right now, almost 17. So if I were him, I would have been dumping it, and that's just me, because look at this RSI coming down like that, and price, as you can tell, was going like this. So that's basically sell, sell, sell. I mean, that for me, I'm not telling anyone else what to do. What I am suggesting people do is to learn as much as they can so that they don't take unnecessary risk. It's risky enough trading stock, let alone crypto. Oops. So I don't, even though, so the 5 wave looks like it was way up there, because look, this looks like a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As far as the subwaves go. See the subwaves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks done to me as far as done going up. So where might it fall down? I don't know if anyone's trading this other than my friend. But let's see. Well, some people must be, or else it wouldn't be having an action, price action. All right, let's find our trusty Fibonacci tool. Measure this giant wave. Where might it come down? Well, it already came down to the 0.2. Look, it's at it right now almost. 0.236. It's going to come down more than that. Sorry, bulls. It's going to probably come down to, where's a horizontal line? It's going to probably come down to about this 786 line. Let me draw a buy zone like I do sometimes. Hypothetical buy zone. I'm not a financial advisor, and trading is risky enough to just randomly do what someone says on YouTube. What I do recommend, though, like I said a minute ago, is to learn as much as possible, and then later you can do your own analysis and feel comfortable with it. If you don't feel comfortable, you either have too much money on the line or you're in over your head in some way. There's no rush. Don't FOMO your money in before you're ready. There are paper trading accounts. Well, the people watching probably already did, so I probably shouldn't say this, but there are paper trading accounts that you can get practice on. So I would think this is going to drop at least to the 0.5, but probably most likely to the 0.618. and probably to the 0.786. So in between there, this is kind of what I did for Doge. If any of you were watching my Doge videos like a couple months ago, this is almost exactly what it looked like, except it trailed on early. So I'm pretty sure my friend is in the profit, but if I were him, I'd be exiting. But because of this RSI coming down, but I'm not telling anyone else what to do. I'm just sharing what has been working pretty well for me. And it's going to be another correction, just like we see all the time. And there might be some good trades in here in between. If you look at this on the 30-minute or the 15 or the, let's see, the 5-minute, 3-minute, yeah, it hasn't even come down yet. So what I would be looking for a buy signal for myself would be if it comes down, under this line on the RSI up here. When it comes down below that, I would be starting to lick my lips. I'm not just going to immediately buy when it goes under that, because it's going to be a bear market now. The bull market looks like it ended up at 21 cents. So some people are probably just now hearing about it, just like I just heard about it around 14 cents. So other people might be just hearing about it and buying right now because they don't know about Elliott Waves and they didn't buy my course. All right. I'm kind of joking, but not really. So, yeah, I would be waiting. I would be setting an alert right here if I had any alerts left. Do I? Oh, I must. Yeah, I do. So once it comes down below the RSI, then I would be looking for a trade. But when you're trading these spikes in the correction, for example, let's say it does A, B, C, D, E, or something like that. This one might come down. Okay, let's say it does something like this, which is actually pretty likely, but not necessarily. This is one of the possible corrections shapes. There are different shapes than this that it could make. So say it comes down and it comes down to the 382, and maybe it's down here and it's looking like it's doing the opposite of that and trending back up. Something like, kind of like that, but farther down. Something like that. And if the price is coming down, let me move this. Never happens as quickly as we want it to. In fact, let's just move that into the future. So if I like to live dangerously, so I would maybe try to play this. Now HEX, I don't know exactly, I forgot. He told me how to buy it. You have to, let me read his text. It's an ERC20 token. You can get a MetaMask wallet, and then you can With Ethereum, you can switch it into HEX using Uniswap. With ETH, HEC, or HEX.com. That's what he was saying. Now, I'm not recommending that or anything. I don't know anything about it fundamentally. I'm just saying from the technical standpoint, from the chart only. So I want to make that clear. I'm trading based on the chart only. So I'm not like getting all hyped up about the individual coins or stocks or whatever. I don't care. Just to be honest. All right. Ketan said, I drew the waves with my own analysis and I saw the B wave on the daily chart is coming to an end. Should you maybe verify that if my analysis is correct on Doge? I'm glad that you're drawing your own chart. That's awesome. And thank you for commenting as well. All right, well, let's go back to Doge. I didn't do Doge yet. Oh, that's not it. All right. All right, so I've been watching this obnoxious sideways action going on for. If I had a Doge for every time I accidentally drew a horizontal line with the paintbrush, I would be a Doge millionaire. All right, so this is the correction with Doge. As you can see, you see this chart? You see how it kind of looks like, hold on. Okay, if you want to see my previous videos where I spelled all this stuff out, I also have a program that hasn't launched yet, but I have officially filled one of the beta testing spots. So I'm excited about that. So we should have some feedback soon about the course before I officially launch it. So do you see how this looks kind of like HEX just looked? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I drew a potential what could happen it coming down into that potential buy zone down to this 786. It's the same exact thing I'm expecting, because that's what happens in nature, it seems like. It's not always going to do that every time, but some clues we had are that these were subwaves of 3, not 5. So that rules some things out. And that's what we can do, is rule some things out and then just focus on what it could be as it plays out, and just be careful in a bear market, because it's just about to have a death cross, it looks like, or it just did on the daily, which means more days to the downside. But it might, I still think it's going to poke up to the upside. And let's see. So remember that triangle I drew here, this shape right here? Look, it came down and poked the line exactly. So there you have it, perfectly in line. I like that pattern, and it obviously did not go up right there. I think it's going to happen right here. I'll move it to the side a little bit, but I think that's the beginning of it right now. If it goes down all the way to the bottom of this wave, I'm not going to be scared, because I'm expecting this sideways shape, 1, 2, 3 to happen, like this. If it comes down any more, that's fine. Doesn't invalidate. If it came down more, it would be just, I would just move this to here. But that's why a correction is difficult to trade, because they're overlapping waves and it's hard to tell when it's done because it has a lot of sideways action. And an impulsive wave up, on the other hand, like way back here in earlier this year, this is easier in a bull market, because if you make a mistake, it's just going to keep going up. And that was a good chance to buy a juicy dip. And I did, actually. That dipped even farther. That dipped down to 13 cents. And I think I told my assistant to wink, wink, nudge, nudge, to look at Doge and maybe buy it. And I don't think they did. And then, then this rocketed all the way up to 74 cents. And I did not rub it in their face, because that's sad. So let's see. Kitan said B wave on the daily chart. Let's look at the daily chart. Oh, I have so many things drawn on the daily chart, I'm going to have to turn them off. I don't see a B wave here, unless you can clearly see the 5 waves up there. But these laps over, see how this overlaps with this? There's no 5 wave down. It's a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that would have been the B wave, if there was a B wave. If this is a, but it can't be an ABC, so it would have to be a W, X. How low could it go? It can't go negative. Where does it go negative? Okay, so it can go down pretty far. I think it would only go down to around 9 cents. If so, there's no B wave, I don't think, because in an ABC, well, there could have been an ABCDE. In an ABC like this, there have to be 5 subwaves, like that. Without any overlapping wave 1 and 4, and with wave 3 being longer than wave 1. And then in the sideways in between, there's an ABC sideways. So this is not what it is, because there's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going down. There's just a big 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense? It might be A, B, C, D, E. Let's take a look at that potential. And if you want more info on this, I have more videos on YouTube for free, and I also have a course that is going to be launching soon. And there are a couple spots left in the, if you want to beta test it, I will give you a good deal for your feedback before it officially launches. So you can get the raw version. So let me delete this, and let me delete this and this so that I can get a clear view. And I drew all that stuff out in past videos if you want to see it. Okay, so it could be A, B, C, D, E, maybe. But I don't think so. If it was done. But it doesn't really look like the appropriate shape for an A, B, C, D, E. That's why I have it marked as W, X, Y. And then there's an X wave here. That's the wave X, not B. And then we're in the middle of some kind of either WX. If it comes down any further, probably be something like that. If it comes down to 9 cents. Because when there's a correction, it can be a double correction or a triple correction. That's why it's not the best idea to trade corrections. I'm not making that up. That's just something I learned, and I agree. Although I'm doing it anyway. So here we are. All right, something like that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm pretty much done with what I wanted to talk about, but I will stick around and answer your questions if you have any. Thank you everyone for tuning in and commenting right from the beginning. I appreciate that. It makes a good live stream. And there, like I said, if you want to reach out to me, if you're watching this in the replay and not live, there's a link at the bottom of the description to schedule a consultation with me for free if you want in on the program, or you can reach out to me on Instagram at the Daily Doji, D-O-J-I. Ketan said, maybe I messed up with the labelings. It's okay. One of the reasons that I'm such a know-it-all is because I'm comfortable with not knowing, and I'm comfortable with being wrong. Although I'm usually not wrong, I'm okay with it, and other people that are so uptight about their intelligence, they're not open to learning new things because they're afraid of being dumb, or they're afraid of being like a child. It's called cognitive dissonance. So I always have an open mind while I'm learning new things, and it's healthy to learn new things well into your life. I read an article years ago about how you can raise your IQ, and they didn't used to think that you could raise your IQ. They just thought it was kind of, you got it by a certain age and that was it. But no, that's not really the case. You can raise your IQ. One of the ways, there was a bunch of different ways. I would definitely recommend brain health. Your brain is an organ, keep in mind. People forget about that and they just fry themselves on quote unquote energy drinks and sugar and starches. I know from personal experience. But other ways to keep an open mind and to be open to not knowing everything. That's the only way to learn new things, is to admit that you don't know everything. And that's why I always say to fear and respect the waves. Just like in the ocean, I love watching people surfing. I have never surfed because I didn't grow up by the ocean, but I have body surfed, and one time I got my face planted into the bottom of the ocean, and there were like rocks and stuff in my skin, in my face, and I learned to, and my neck like cracked. I thought I was done for. But I learned when I was younger, body surfing, to fear and respect. Uh-oh. Alerts are going off while I'm chattering. That's good. I learned to fear and respect the waves. And I apply the same idea to Elliott Waves. I try not to get cocky about it or anything like that because I'm not in control of it. I'm just riding the waves, so to speak. That's the best analogy I can come up with. So what do we have here? I think that alert was not really anything special. Yeah, it just nicked. It just barely touched it on the 1 minute. That's not really something I'm gonna get involved in. I did, however, buy a little bit when it was down to 18 cents. Not as much as I want to, but I did scoop up a tiny bit more. Because I think that we're gonna, I do think it could go down to 9 cents, but I don't think that's going to happen right now. If it does, then I will get as much as I can. If everyone else is freaking out, that's when it's a good time for me to buy. People are thinking, basically by the time the sellers are done selling, by the time the people selling are totally done, when there are no more sellers left, that's when a new bull market will start. Literally. It has to happen like that. It's not going to happen any other way than that. As long as there's still people shorting it, then it's going down. So it's not my fault. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just trying to explain the psychology of what is happening right in front of me. Because this is the truth. The truth is that price. You can't really debate the truth of the chart. That's what I like about technical analysis. All right, so I'm talking slowly because I'm just looking at it, seeing if there's any other possible. If this keeps beating on this line, this line is probably going to resist it. Is it just going to drag on and on until the end of this till like this, till the bottom of that wave. That seems to be where they're coming together, is right around the bottom of this previous wave. So I have been expecting it to do something like that and then go back up to about, if it goes all the way down to here, it'll only go up to about 30 cents, 29 actually, ish. It could go further. If it goes up from where it's at right now, it'll probably be around a little over 30 cents. But that pattern it's making won't be that different. It'll just be days later. Ugh. Well, that's why corrections are difficult. But unless this sharply falls like I have on the 1 hour, let's see, after this loads, okay. If this doesn't happen, and if instead it falls like W, X, Y, that could happen actually. Let's see here. I'm going to measure this first wave and see how far down. Oh, I did this before months ago. It can't go down that far because that's negative. It can't do another huge wave like that because that would go negative, and I don't think that's mathematically possible. However, if you're a blockchain programmer, let me know. Is it possible to go negative? I know that question freaks a lot of people out, but you shouldn't get emotional about trading. You should just try to trade the wave and get a winning trade, and that's it. Don't get all sucked into the nonsense on the media, in the media. Since when does the media know anything about anything? Never. Ever in my entire life has the media ever been accurate? I can't think of anything important. They can't even get the weather right where I live. So I don't even tune into that. All right, well, unless we're either going to drop down to, I think, probably around 9 or 10 cents, like I drew right here, but if this just goes sideways, I think it has another wave up before it does, but now that I drew this out, it looks just as probable. W, X, Y, X. This is the Z. So actually, this is kind of what I had drawn before. W, X, Y, X. But I thought the Z ended right here. Well, this is a new possibility of it just going down to 9 from here. I didn't see that possibility before with this being WXY and then X and then WXY. That's kind of a double correction. One correction, an X wave, and then another correction, which looked like it ended right here. But this could have been a wave down, up. So what would this be right here? Maybe that'll make some sense out of this nonsense we've got. But it looks more like a sideways wave than a downward wave. The reason I'm trying to think of an alternative count other than this, either from here, is what I originally thought. If this keeps condensing down to the bottom of this wave right here, then it would be like right there. But if it, the signs on the RSI are showing to buy it. I mean, for me anyway. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. Look, the RSI is trending right on that line. It bounced right off of it again, 3 times in the exact same spot. See that? Coincidence? There are no coincidences. So that was the reason that I think that it's going to go up from here. If it keeps coming down and the RSI keeps, if the price keeps doing that off of that line, something like that, and the price keeps going down, 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 that would be the buy signal. But there's already been 3. 1, 2, and this is on the 1 hour chart, 3. So for me, that would be the buy right there. However, we're in a bear market, so it's not foolproof, because there is that risk of it just tanking down to 9 cents. That's the part about fearing the wave, is that because it's not an impulsive wave, we can't be sure exactly where it's going to turn around. On impulsive waves, we can, because they follow exact rules that have to be that way. But right now, it wouldn't break any rules to go either way. So we're in my buy zone from before. So in general, I think it's a good buy, but I definitely wouldn't go all in, because there's always the wave that comes down. So if it pops up in the short term to 30 cents or something like that, then I would be not surprised, and I would take profit personally. I wouldn't be trying to go, oh, it's just going to go to the moon if it goes up to 30 cents. No, that's not necessarily. There would have to be more signals than just that. All right, let me take one more screenshot. Are there any more questions? All right, this didn't work. Okay. All right, if you do have questions, let me know in the comments. That's about it for this video, unless there are questions, and I will take a couple of them before I sign out. I will stick around until 6:30, which is 12 more minutes, unless there are no questions, but more people are now signing on, so. Lucas said, great video, thank you so much, I appreciate it. I'm really excited to get your continued feedback, and you have for everyone else watching, Lucas has an inside spot in my new program. So he will be teaching you maybe in the, in the future. What will we be doing in the future if we can just trade Elliott Waves and sit in a hammock? Is that what we're all probably aspiring to? We should do a segment of the video where we all talk about our goals, what we would do if with our trades. But some of the trading psychology I was learning about recently is that not to use this one trader is some famous trader in Japan, and he was saying, or the reporters were saying about him, that he said not to buy stuff with the gains, which is the opposite of what I've been thinking, is especially with crypto, because my argument was that what is the crypto, what is it backed up with? Question mark? Someone explain it to me, because I'm one of the smartest people I know, and actually I'm being modest. I'm the smartest person I know, to be honest. But I do know some other smart people on this channel, actually. And I'm sure there are much smarter people out there in the world. They're just not your average doofus going around public. But my idea was to take the crypto gains and transfer it into something solid, that like real estate or gold and silver or luxury watches or even certain musical instruments, stuff like that I can actually wear or use and enjoy. And actually I know a lot about instruments because I'm a musician, so that might be something good to invest in, where most people would just throw their money into something that they're not even good at. So I recommend finding investments that are up your alley, that have something that you're interested in, that also, and I'm not saying to fool yourself that your waste of money is an investment when it isn't. I'm just saying specifically things like specific luxury watches, specific collectible cars, specific musical instruments, and probably specific coins, certain rare things that can't be made ever again. But according to this trader in Japan, he was saying not to daydream about what you're going to use the money for, which is the opposite of what my mentor says. So that's very interesting, fascinating, that there are conflicting views, but both people are successful. However, my other mentor made hundreds of millions, whereas that Japanese guy only made a couple hundred million, which is about half. So if you, now, you know, some advice is not always equal. I always consider what the person's like giving the advice, because a lot of people like to flap their gums and they don't end up having any results to show for it. It's all about the results. And on that note, I'm probably going to end the feed here unless someone wants to ask a question. Thank you everyone for tuning in. What's wrong with my... Is there a lag in my feed? Thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate all the comments. Thank you Lucas, thank you Ketan, anyone else watching. I personally will keep coming out with videos. This is probably usually I do them Sunday through Thursday, but I might do one, so the next one is either going to be tomorrow or Sunday. And make sure to hit the bell icon, because YouTube won't tell you about my live video unless you subscribe and hit the bell. So if you want to be in live, then if you want to be there live, where you can get all the action and you can ask questions in real time with only about a 10-second lag, it's a better way, I think, and it's more interesting that way. So I'll be back with another live daily doji, and I'm changing the name to the Daily Doji because a doji is one of the candlestick shapes. And the thing I like about a doji is that it signals a turnaround. But I don't really trade off of the candlesticks. I know that some people do, but I think Elliott Waves are way better. Ketan said it's usually 3 to 4 here in India. Lucky I've messed up my I have a messed up sleep cycle, or I would never have discovered this channel. Wow, interesting. Wow, so you're tuning in from India right now. Cool. Where at in India? I have a friend from... I have one friend from India. He's from like the mountains in what's the name of it? I don't want to pronounce it badly, but Uttarakhand or something like that. I know one person from there. I always wanted to visit India. You're from New Delhi. Cool. Well, welcome to the channel. Alright, I keep hearing like a buzzer or something outside. I'm going to have to sign out. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.